You know, there's a point in life when you're playing a game and a boomerang being the best item is just the best thing. I mean look at this thing. Look at this thing. If I need some cobble, get me some. I mean that's a waste of endurance there, but at the same time I really needed that cobble. Oh no, it's a baby! Hit it with a boomerang, it died! Reminds me of this incident I almost did at a park when I was like years ago. I bought myself a boomerang from Barnes & Noble with a guide of how to use a boomerang. And let me tell you really quickly here, went just like that. That poor child took a boomerang to the head. My boomerang was taken away, never got to use my boomerang again. I think my grandma was unhappy with me. I think the whole entire point of life was like, violence is not the answer, and you shouldn't be throwing boomerangs, they could hit kids. And I'm just like, how am I supposed to know that another kid was in a park that I was also conveniently in? I didn't mean to hit the kid with a boomerang, it was out of my control, because boomerangs, let me tell you, they're if you don't know what you're doing, if you don't know what you're doing, let me tell you, not gonna end well. And the boomerang, you know, it definitely. Like I said, I haven't touched a boomerang since then. I've been traumatized by my experience. I've learned not to use a boomerang. It's a weapon, not a toy. Though then again, you know, I mean, at least in real life, and in this game, they're definitely weapons and tools. Weapons, tools. They're pickerangs. They made them easy to get to, and then the raw vaults. And I'm just like, you know what? I'm gonna destroy lives and children. I mean, these poor dead kids. Oh no! How are they gonna get through life if I keep hitting them with boomerangs? But you know, when you're kids and you throw boomerangs, and it wasn't like a hard boomerang. It was, you know, made of like a lighter, heavy, dense. Never mind. There's a chance. It was definitely dangerous. But then again, I think at some point, like Barnes & Noble should have been held liable. They'd be like, you hit my kid with a boomerang, but Barnes & Noble gave me access to the boomerang. You don't understand. There's a reason why it was in my hands in the first place. It was because it was like $23 plus tax. And that's how I never used a boomerang. But at the same time, let's see, I don't think I need any of these blocks, but it's fun. It's fun, and that's what matters. Let's go down here. Hey! And yes, I'm grabbing these. These are not something I can readily craft at the moment. I also have a beefier sword. I spent so much crafting potential. Look at this. My crafting potential is 15. It started out so high, but I really wanted that undead damage in the attack and the shocking hit chance in the attacks. I want it all. I'm like a masochist. I just sat there going through all my resources. I'm like, I will kill everything, but at the same time, nothing really matches just boomeranging them. I mean, I play games with people and they call me a boomer, and you know what? After this point, I think it's a well-deserved thing. Not so good with these big boys. Not so good. But you know what? That's why we have you. Yeah. Who's a good little sword, huh? And then see, the other fun thing about the boomerang incident was that, like I'm an orphan. I was orphaned young, so I was with a grandmother, and the grandmother, she likes to do the guilt, you know, the good old-fashioned, you know, the guilt trips, you know, whether it's, you know, life preference choice, but she liked to guilt trip me after that. With that, she'd be like, remember the time you hit that poor kid with the boomerang? And I'm like, the actions were out of my control. You don't understand. It was an unbalanced throw. But you know, it's always great when like a grandmother also like remembers this, because grandmas remember everything. I mean, you may not think it, but they do. Like one time when the first Toy Story came out. Well played, stupid trapdoor. The first Toy Story came out, and let me tell you, I definitely had like a bunch of Woody and Buzz Lightyear toys and all this other stuff, and I loved it. And I don't remember this, but one of my grandmas remembers this, and if she ever like learns about this video, she'll be like, yeah, that is exactly what he said when he got off the bus. Is I said, Grandma, look at my Woody, because I was referring to Woody. You know, Woody, but it means a different thing when you're adults. And so getting reminded of stories by grandmas when you get older, it's just, you don't want to see it, but it happens, and then it's traumatizing. Nope. Spiders. Not the biggest fan of spiders. But yeah, so like whenever I did something, she's like, remember that poor kid, and I'm like, stop remembering the kid. He's probably fine with minor brain damage. He's gonna survive. And and so it's just just having to remind like, hey, it was a lightweight boomerang. It wasn't something like heavily intensive. I mean, it's not like Australia where it's probably like, yeah, we implemented some nanotechnology. As you can see, it travels about 500 miles per hour, and we use them to kill kangaroos or something. It's not like one of those boomerangs. So I feel a little bit, abused by the grandparents with this story. But then again, like, imagine if I did like some kind of like real trauma to the kid, and I got sent to juvie, which if you're not American, I don't know how to explain juvie. It's where you go if you're a bad kid. That's essentially what it's described as. If you're a bad kid, you go to juvie. And I've heard stories. It seems boring, but it also seems educational. Like, you've learned your lesson. But it would have been great to also, go to juvie and be like, how did you get here, kid? And it's like, well, I used a boomerang once, and it didn't work out in my favor because I ended up throwing it, and it ended up going a different way and hit a kid. And then they'll just be like, that would have been amazing. I would have been like the king of all the juvie kids, probably. I mean, probably not. I've heard stories about some of the kids that go to juvie, and it's not pretty, not one bit. But you know what? For that moment of glory in my daydreaming, I would have enjoyed it. I don't know where he was coming from. Have I gone down? Let's do this. Take this trapdoor. Oh, come on. That's not even fair. That's also not fair. This is the teaming on me. But back to talking about the game, the game stuff of having to pick a ring. Like the game was kind of like puzzle rooms would have never happened. Oh. Puzzle rooms are just horrible. I always went through them and I was like, I'm never gonna do these things. That's the worst thing ever without a pick a ring. And I was trying to think, how in the world am I gonna get a pick a ring in Sky Vaults? I mean, I have to find that stupid diamond guy that's below 300 levels of death and despair. Oh no, oh frabjous day, Kaloo. And then they just update 11.2 comes out and it's like, yeah, we revamped it. We've made Sky Vaults harder if you're starting out, but let me tell you, you can get a pick a ring. And I grind it hard. Puzzle rooms, I complete them pretty fast now. It's not a problem. And if I can find a challenge room, I'm going to show you exactly how I cheese them, like I cheese these horde mobs. Oh boy. Speed running my life choices here. Yeah, I don't see a lot of challenge rooms. Not on this one, not on this one. No. But we're going to try to find one, because I think it's pretty cool what happens. Because I used to watch Captain Sparkles when he did the Vault Hunters, Captain Sparkles 2, subscribe, we're gonna get to, I think, what is it, he's still trying to get to 1 million or 2 million, I don't know at this point. I watched him for the Vault Hunters, so I would know what not to invest in. Because whatever he did, you know it's getting nerfed. There's not a chance it's not getting nerfed. I mean, what, he's Mr., what is it, Jardoon Cheeserton or something, whatever his name is? And so that's where I would watch. I would be like, we're not investing in this, it's not worth our time. This is also not worth our time. And I'm not saying that the crystals and all that stuff and pogs aren't worth my time, but right now they're really just not worth my time. Ooh, difficulty impossible, but you know what? I enjoy the impossible. I don't actually enjoy the impossible. But let me see if I can... let me get prepared for this. There we go. As you can see, we have the gentleman's. There we go. If you're just in here enough, you can take out some beautiful paint on these boys. Look at this little piggy that thought he could. Ah, the joy of cheesing it. Ha 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 ha! Loser! Okay, let me do something really quickly because there's no way this isn't gonna end well for me. We got a lot of looting to do. Was it worth it? Maybe. Well, we'll find out after I get all the loot. And I think that's it. Which means we just gotta run, we gotta run fast, we gotta go. Boom, fantastic, we made it. We're gonna run from the spider for the next 11 seconds, but that is absolutely how you abuse the pick-a-ring with those little challenges. That was supposed to be impossible. I did I can literally put in my resumes that I've done the impossible. And I made it to level 50 for the 3rd time in a Vault Hunters, like, 3rd edition series. That just... It's not even funny anymore. It's not even funny. It's honestly, you know, it's just kind of what I do. It's like my favorite pastime. If they ask me in an interview, so why do you think you're applicable for this job? Because I've been to level 53 times on Vault Hunt. It's gonna work out. Perhaps. Oh, look at that. I already have this. But that was a lesson on how to abuse everything.
Shadow King helmet transmog.
And now I'm a Shadow King. I'm a Shadow King. Is it? Actually, it is better. A little bit better. Increased damage. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I hope you enjoyed this story. I hope you enjoyed me abusing my pick-a-ring. And no, just to clarify, I haven't used a boomerang in real life since then. It has traumatized me. I mean, imagine if I'm an adult and I hit a kid or anybody with a boomerang. Do you know what's gonna? I don't know what's gonna happen. But if I Google Florida man hits somebody with a boomerang, I'm sure it's gonna say the guy spent 25 years in jail. He's never getting out. Unless it's like an open field, but then again, like knowing my luck, a bald eagle's gonna come down and get hit by it, and I'm gonna kill the bald eagle by accident, and then it's just like jail for the rest of my life. You un-American scum. Can't have it. Can't have it. Goodbye. Subscribe later.